Hey, good morning to all you wonderful YouTubers. Hey, this is the Virginia Bushcrafter. If this is your very first time coming to this channel is all about learning and practicing the skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival. So guys, I'm glad you could join me this morning. I definitely appreciate it on this brisk second day of spring in Northern Virginia. I'm out here today just to practice on some skills once again. But I'm going to take you along for the ride. By the way, I'm doing fine. Thank everyone for asking. But I'm going to take you along on the ride, show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a shelter, a plow point. I'm going to chop some wood with a cutting tool I have not used in a long time. And I'm going to try a Twig Stove. So, guys, let me get you in focus, get set up, and I'm going to start from the beginning with making a shelter. Mother Nature. All right, guys, since I am making a Plow-Point Shelter, the first thing that I'm going to do is make the plow. And I'm going to do that by running some paracord through the very point. I'm going to pull it up to the tree. I'm going to wrap it around one time. And now I'm going to make a timber hitch. It's 1, 2. I'm going to pour this through 7 times. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, making sure that the timber hitch is against the bark of the tree. All right, so let me show this to you. The timber hitch is against the bark of the tree. So now I'm going to go to the rear and stake that down. All right, I'm going to take a tent peg, go to the rear, make this a 90-degree, and I'm just going to make sure it's tight and stake this down. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the corner. Let me put you in focus here. Let's see if take the corner, pull it tight, and stake it down. And the next thing I'm going to do, since I'm on this side, I'm going to take some paracord and I'm going to take some paracord run it through this tie out here. Just make a knot. You will see what this is for in a minute. Now I'm going to go to the other side and do exactly what I did on this side. All right, guys, this is the plow point that you can set up in 5 minutes, at a minimum 5 minutes. This is just from practicing. So let's take a look at it. You can see it from this angle. This is the inside. And this is just consists of tying it in the front, tent peg here, tent peg in the rear, tent peg on the other side. So tied to a tree and 3 tent pegs, you have coverage. However, as you see these tie outs here, 3 on each side, I like secureness, so I'm going to stake those down as well. And then we're going to put the finishing touch on this. Hey, I'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, the shelter is complete. And again, I think being efficient, practicing this over and over, a very simple shelter known as the Plow-Point. If you know what you're doing and you've practiced, you can do this in 5 to 10 minutes. So let me just show you quickly. This is one side of the shelter. This is the rear. And also I pulled the back out by using a walking stick. And it has a tent peg in the ground. So this is from the rear. This is the side. And this is inside. A lot of room. And of course, my closet. So guys, here again today, as always, I am just out here practicing. And my main goal is to use a cutting tool I haven't used in a very long time. And I'm hoping to be much more efficient using it. And that tool is, it is not an axe, it is not a hatchet, it is, let me get situated here. All right, the tool that I am using today is a Kukri Machete, made by Condor. Kukri Machete. 12.5-inch cutting edge. Very thick spine. I think it's about 1/4 of an inch. Very sharp. I believe that's a 4.5-inch handle. And of course, I always use a lanyard. So this is the chopping tool in place of a hatchet or an axe today. So let me get some gloves and let's go to chopping. All right, guys, so I am going to start chopping some wood. Let's see. Hope you can see me. I'm going to put the gloves on as always. Attach the lanyard. And this is going to be some wood that I am going to use today. So again, I haven't used this tool in some time, but start here. You notice that you see it bouncing somewhat? That's because it's a convex grind. That's why I'm making sure that when I swing, this misses me and goes this way. Tighten up the lanyard. Thing about it, this is so large, the handle is 4.5 inches, that you can actually use 2 hands. I think what I'm going to do is turn it over. No, I think I'll... The log is actually too large to turn over. Another thing, when chopping, you definitely want to come down straight using your ab muscles. You don't want to go in this way, bounce, come this way. So, again. There we have it. Again, guys, King Kukri Machete. Just getting started. All right, I'm gonna chop about 4 more pieces. I'll bring you back on the last one. Of course, I could saw it, but I want to use the Condor King Kukri Machete. Here's a smaller piece that I've started on. Some very hard wood here. This is the size here. Very hard wood. So I'm gonna cut this, chop this down. This time I will bring you back. Hey guys, so after chopping some tough wood, I want to show you what it's like to just cut small stuff. How easily it cuts small branches. But it's so much fun that I must do another hard piece. Well, this splits in half. All right, guys, the work of King Kukri Machete, made by Condor. So This is the wood here that I have processed. I am going to go just right back to the shelf, to the plow point, and split this up. So we have seen how well it chops. Let's see how well it splits. Hey guys, well, I have chopped a fair amount of wood, but I couldn't resist using a saw. The reason I used this saw is because I saw something that I couldn't pass up. And that is the intersection of a trunk and a branch. And guess what's in it? Good old fat wood. Again, now fat wood is when a pine tree is no longer living, it's unalived. And all the resin will go to the bottom of the tree, and a lot of it gets soaked up in the joints, with the trunk and the branch. And this is very flammable. So when I saw this, I thought about it, it's like, no, gotta have some fun with the saw. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna take the Kukri Machete. I'm gonna split some wood because I have a very, very small stove that I'm gonna use today. All right, guys, let me get everything straight. We will be right back. Hey guys, what I'm gonna do with some of this smaller wood, I'm gonna split it up even further. Again, using the Kukri Machete. So I'm not gonna worry about the big gnarly pieces. So let me put you in focus and let me get started. Okay, let's see if I can find a good spot for you. Let me back up somewhat. Yeah, this is not going to be a challenge for this cutting tool. But I need these to be very slender. Let me put you further back so that you can actually see this. Okay, again, safety gloves, leather gloves. Very, very advisable to always, always, always protect your hands, protect your feet. when you're out for an overnighter, bring extra pair of socks. Bring a pair of socks to sleep in as well. But right now we're just going to be using a Twig Stove. That is one reason I'm glad I got the fat wood over there. But as you can see, this thing just annihilates wood. Which is what I wanted to do. Again, I haven't used this machete in at least over a year, or maybe longer. I think you guys get the idea that cutting tool is a must. I really believe it doesn't, to me, whichever region you are in, you're going to need a knife. Something that is going to cut, chop, slice, and carve. Just for the heck of it, speaking of carving, it carves well. So guys, you see, this tool works well. Again, it has a very thick blade, 1075 carbon steel. So, guys, what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish this task. And when I get them somewhat smaller than this, I'll bring you back. And then we're going to take on the next task. All right, guys, so this is the wood that I'm going to process. Hey, guys, well, this is the amount of wood that I have split with the King Kukri Machete. This is what I have used all day. I could have used a saw. I did use a saw to get some fat wood. And speaking of the fat wood, here it is right here. Beautiful fat wood. Rich in fat wood. So what I'm going to do, this is the fire, this is the wood that I'm going to use in this little twig stove. And that's the pot I'm going to use. But right now, I'm going to slice some potatoes. Going to slice some potatoes, make some French fries, have some fruit with me, and granola bars and Gatorade and all that good stuff. So guys, this is just the fun part of practicing bushcrafting, prepping, and survival. So let me get situated. I'm going to slice these potatoes, and then I'm going to have lunch. But guys, this is the fun part. Excessive wood. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm slicing the potatoes with a Camillus knife. And this hollow grind, it makes slicing so much easier. This is just what I really want to do is just see how much wood it really takes to use this Twig stove. So I'm going to take 3 potatoes and I have some extra virgin olive oil that I'm going to use, and I'm sure I'm going to use to start the fire. I'm going to use a cotton ball and Vaseline, and then I'm going to toss the fat wood in. Yeah, guys, let me bring you closer and let you see exactly what I'm doing here. Again, a sharp knife is a safe knife. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. Of course, French fries, they are one of my favorite foods. And I just call this my fun food. Don't get it often, but it's a lot of fun doing it in the bush. So, that's what's in the bucket. But I'm going to start the fire and let the fire get going before I put this on to top. So I'm going to put this right here. And now we're going to focus on fire. All right, guys. So let me get my fire kit ready and I'll be right back. All right, guys, it's fire time. And again, I'm using a fair sim rod. The handle is fat wood. Again, shout outs to Tennessee Tactical. And I have Vaseline and cotton balls on some fat wood. It's going to be a very, very easy fire. Let's just get it started. And I'm using the Camillus knife, the spine, the back of it. Okay. There we go. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to feed it more fat wood right now. All right, guys, that is the beginning of the fire. And that is fresh fat wood that was harvested today. As you can see, the resin, I mean, it's really going already. And I have just so much tinder. So, just gonna feed some of this. Okay, so the fire is going, and I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil in the pot and get the French fries started. We'll be right back. All right, guys, well, the French fries are in the pot. And the good thing I like about this Twig Stove is just so easy to feed it with fuel, which is wood. Just by simply sticking wood here. More than enough wood. But let's take a look at the and see how the French fries are doing. Yes, they are deep frying. All right, guys, so I'm gonna let those cook, and when they're ready, we'll be back for lunchtime. All right, guys, what is the saying? Anything you cook in the bush tastes delicious. So I'm having French fries, peaches, and granola bar. Nice French fries, granola bar, and peaches. Not to mention some fantastic Gatorade. Perfect. Fills the spot. See if I can give you a better angle. French fries, granola bars, peaches, and Gatorade. So guys, this is the reward of the fun part. I'm just coming out here trying to perfect the plow point. I remember when I first started, it took me much longer than 10 minutes. But as long as you have a tree and a minimum of 3 tent pegs, you can set up a plow point. However, I like mine to be as secure as possible. So I actually added the other 3 tie outs. I actually put 10 pegs in those as well. So, but I really wanted to try out the Twig Stove. I mean, you can actually cook a meal on it. I just chose French fries today just to see how long it was going to take, and it took a fair amount of time because, you know, all you have to do is just keep feeding the fire. That is why I had the long logs. Do have a fork, but the hands are clean. You always bring hand sanitizer with you or camp soap. And this is right on time. But I have a lot of wood. I think what I'm going to do is actually come back tomorrow with my Molly 2 rucksack, which is 81 liters, which is a huge rucksack, very durable. And I'm going to take the wood with me because it will serve me very well when I'm fishing at night. Something I'm looking forward to, so that I can take someone else fish to eat. But today was all about the Condor heavy duty cookery and the Twig Stove. The shelter was not an issue at all. Can put this up in 10 minutes easily. And I think next week I may try the Adirondack shelter again, or the Baker tarp tent, or the fold over tarp shelter. There's so many. So it's really good. And once I finish this, I have enough time I'm going to make me some tea just to utilize some more wood. I may have to start the fire over again. If I do, it's not a problem. And again, the ferrocene rod that I use and the knife, the camellis, that camellis throws some serious sparks. I mean, it has a 90-degree spine like you would not believe. Again, that knife is so nice that I bought two. I bought them some time ago. I want to say in 2012, I think somewhere around there. No, it couldn't have been in 2012. Whenever it was, I liked it so much that I went and bought another one. In the event they stopped selling them. But the prices have gone up. That is for sure. And it's a very sharp knife. Cuts well, hollow grind. Slices well. It splits wood well. I've used it. I just used it to make some wedges yesterday. I had fun making the wedges. I'm going to make some more because there are some large logs out here that I just want to split. But I have a lot of things on my bucket list. That's one of them. The next one is also the bow drill. I do have a practice kit at home. I've tried it twice, but I stopped because I was in my basement and didn't want to go any further. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to finish this meal and I'll be back with you. Again, that's it. Hey, YouTubers. Well, I have eaten. I have done some chit-chatting for about an hour, and time has just slipped away. But that's what happens when you're having fun, especially in the bush. So, guys, I came out here again to focus on using a Condor King Kukri Machete that I had not used in a while. I'm very pleased with it, but there's one thing I forgot to demonstrate, which was actually splitting the wood as if I was using an axe or a hatchet. But it worked out very well. Again, it's an awesome tool. Again, the Condor King Kukri Machete. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just a Condor collector. But I did make a meal consist of French fries, a peach, and granola bars, and Gatorade. I skipped the tea, but and I did use a stove, a Twig Stove, and I really anticipated using a lot of wood. As you can see, I have wood left over. And this is still the inside. You've seen it before. But, so I will use that wood again, maybe tomorrow. But again, let me just tell you again, here's the Plow-Point. Now it's very, very easy to put up. Again, the main connection is here. Now, you can change this around according to wherever the direction the wind is coming from. as it's set up now, the wind will be coming in this direction, the plow point. So if the wind was coming in another direction, you can just remove the tent pegs and change it. But as you can see here, that would be kind of difficult because of all of Mother Nature that's here. But it doesn't matter if it were to rain or whatever. I can go all the way to the back, and you can even have a small fire under here. And that's the reason why I had the Twig Stove today. So again, this is the plow point. And again, I used a trekking pole. I could have used Mother Nature, but I used a trekking pole. And this is it from a different angle. And since I'm over here, here is my next task: to make a Swedish torch. And I have made wedges that will assist me in doing so. So here's another log that got blown over here by the wind, but I'm going to pick it up and try to keep it off the ground so that, you know, doesn't get water. But anyway, so, and it was very chilly this morning, so I had another hoodie on. Removed it. I call this my closet. And this is it from a distance. But all in all, guys, I think I accomplished my goal again. It was the Condor King Kukri Machete that I had not used in a while. And I'll be using it more often. And using the Twig Stove, knowing how much fuel or wood that it will take. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean up, get everything straight, and I'll be back with you on my exit. Fuel for another adventure. Red is in the shed. North 26. All right, guys, it has been another enjoyable day in the bush. Lots of fun, relaxation, and work. Again, I enjoyed the tools, the Condor King Kukri Machete, Corona Saw, Condor Mountain Pass Knife, Camilla's Knife, ferro rod from Tactical Tennessee 1. Hey, it was just a good time. Using a Twig Stove, overestimated the amount of wood that I would need. As you can see, what's there for another adventure. All in all, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Looking for the next adventure. So guys, hit the like, comment, subscribe, share it out. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter. And as always, like father and son, mother and daughter, we're all akin in some form or fashion. So get out in the bush and have some fun. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for joining.